Nurecover Sauna Pro versus the SaunaPod 2.0. Hey guys, if you're new to the channel, I've done some sauna reviews before in the past. On the last one that we had on the SaunaPod 2.0, I recommended it with some modifications. Got a lot of questions to look at the Nurecover. The Nurecover is typically a couple $100s cheaper and claims to do the exact same stuff. I kind of delayed doing this because I thought that probably wasn't possible, so I'm going to run it through its paces now though and just kind of let you know where it's at. I'm not sponsored by either one of the brands. I do have a promo code from Nurecover for 20% off for anybody that's interested. If you watch this video and decide that you want to do it, I get a small commission from it that doesn't cost you anything. It supports the channel, so thanks for doing that if you're interested in this product. But to talk through the setup on both. With the Nurecover versus the SaunaPod 2.0, relatively the same. You're putting a bunch of poles together and then stretching this fabric over the frame. Of note with the setup, when you run this thing for the first time, make sure you're not in it. Leave a small vent, as it says in the instructions. Let it run for at least an hour. There is some oils and stuff that it ships with that need to burn off. I did notice a decent amount of vapor coming out of the tent as I was burning it off. From a material and footprint standpoint, the SaunaPod 2.0 is actually rounded. The Nurecover has some interesting stuff where it's a bit smaller, obviously, and so the way that they do it is they kind of angle some of the poles in here, and you can actually fit this thing through a single door. So from a portability standpoint, you can move it all around. Whereas with the SaunaPod 2.0, I had to open double doors to get it out of the house because of the roundness and the diameter at the bottom. Materials are roughly the same. SaunaPod 2.0 does feel a bit more premium overall. Like Nurecover's decided to do this huge window, which is probably letting a decent amount of heat escape. So interesting concept versus SaunaPod 2.0 had a smaller window. SaunaPod 2.0 provided you with a bigger chair that was a bit more comfortable, but not super comfortable. Not much different than this Nurecover one. This one's tiny. It feels a little bit weird, but it actually works quite well. You'll see that in the testing as we go here. From a comfort standpoint, I found sitting in both of them equally comfortable, really no difference between the two. Nurecover did not put any felt or protection over the poles in here, so they do get relatively hot, and that is problematic with the way that this door zips closed. You have to go past two of the poles, so you do have to touch them, and they do get quite hot if you let this thing sit for a while. From a time to heat perspective, this Nurecover actually got a lot hotter faster compared to the SaunaPod 2.0. You'll see again, this is a much shorter footprint. The SaunaPod stood about yay high. I could stand up inside of it and sort of twirl around, and this you can't. But I actually think that doesn't really matter much. This actually makes it a bit more compact and probably a better fit for a garage gym or something like that. So overall, I don't think that's a negative on their side. From an unmodified performance standpoint with the Nurecover, I got this thing up to about 174 completely unmodified. We're outside. The ambient temperature right now is 74. So the SaunaPod 2.0 never really got above 155 or so. These are basically both tents with space heaters inside of them when you think about how they're designed, and the space heaters are relatively similar. This one might be cranking out a bit more, but it got to 174 relatively quickly within a half an hour. So in use, after about 20 minutes, this thing is cranking. I got a good sweat on, exactly what you want to get out of a sauna session. It's certainly very usable. I thought this chair was going to be really gimmicky and I was going to hate it because it's really small, but it's actually not too bad. It's not the most comfortable thing in the world, but it's not like a full-blown sauna setup anyway, so you shouldn't be expecting that. When I modified it, I was easily able to get it up to 180, and that's the same with the SaunaPod 2.0. Got it to 180 as well, so both can get you in that range. When you're looking at both of these and thinking about which one might make sense for you, if you want to get into saunas, this is a super low cost way to do it. So in the end, I'm going to recommend the Nurecover. It's a couple $100s cheaper and it does the same thing. And really, you don't need to modify it. You could take this thing right out of the box and use it as it is. I'm using a Wi-Fi thermometer in there that I'll put a link to as well, so you can check that out, and that helps you know when it's ready to jump in. But overall, this thing gets up to a usable heat without modifying anything. You modify it, it gets even better. So thanks for dropping by the channel. Hope you enjoyed the content. If you liked it, subscribe. Like I said, if you're going to buy this tent, 20% off in the code below. Thanks.